It is my pleasure to invite up our pre-K through third grade learners to come lead us in Bim Bam. Right up here like we practiced. All right. If you build it, they will come.
But I want to be where you are. I don't care if you do.
Outside voices. Are you ready?
I don't care about
Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Shabbat Shalom, hey! Shabbat Shalom, hey! Shabbat 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 Shalom, hey! Shabbat Shalom, hey! Shabbat Shalom, hey! Shabbat 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 Shalom, hey! Shabbat 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 Shalom, Shabbat 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 Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, hey! Shabbat Shalom, hey! Shabbat 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 Shalom, hey!
Thank you so much. Good job, everyone. Good job, good job. Good game, good game. All right. They will be back. You'll be back to lead us in another prayer. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I am Leslie Zucker, music coordinator, worship leader, and cantorial soloist here at Beth Torah. And I am very pleased that I am joined tonight by Damien Denton Williams. Oh my gosh, I've been here for a very long time today. Fantastic. Now nobody has to worry about messing up. I've done it. Denton Williams, who is our song leader tonight. Thank you so much. I'm also joined by our bow committee and our streaming team, who is now more than one person. Woo! It's very exciting for those of you who've been with us on this journey. If that is something that you're interested in learning, our streaming or our digital docenting, please call the office and we'll get you in touch with the correct person. If you're joining us from home, please take down this phone number because this is what you will need if something happens technologically and you need help. 913-303-1134. That's 913-303-1134. Please text. You're welcome to call, but no one will answer the phone. So please text if you need help.
Good trial run.
For those of you who are here in person, we're going to be calling the numbers in the square brackets. We're doing service 1 tonight in our blue prayer book, which means that each 2 pages is 1 prayer. So if I don't call a number, that means just turn the page, and on the next 2 pages, that's where your prayer will be. We also have the numbers up on the slides. And please take a moment to silence any electronic devices that you have. God always calls, as we can see just happened in my drumming section. And as you saw, we are also joined tonight by our pre-K through third grade learners from the Weiner Religious School. We are very pleased to welcome them and their families this evening. We start in prayer together on page 121 at the top. Page 121 in the square brackets. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us, as their brightness reminds us of the generation of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. I invite our learners back up with their families to light the Shabbat candles, which will be on page 120, those blessings. You're a very, very brave woman. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Thank you all so much. You may return to your seats. And we join together on page 130, or as my math teacher would have told me, 130. There's no and in the number. Page 130, L'chu Neranena, singing songs of praise. L'chu Neranena. Dodi is on page 138.
Ay, lecha Dodi, ay, likrat kala, ay, b'nei Shabbat, ay, nekabela. עטרת בלה, גם בשמחה ובצהרם, תוך אמוני עם סגורה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה, איי 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 לך דודי, איי 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 לקראת חלה, איי 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 גני שבת, איי 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 נקודרה.
Page 145. Entrances to holiness are everywhere. The possibility of ascent is all the time, even at unlikely times and through unlikely places. There is no place on earth without the presence.
Adonai HaMevorach, Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, HaMevorach le'olam va'ed, HaMevorach, HaMevorach le'olam.
Page 150. Everlasting love you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. It's my honor to invite our learners back up to lead us in the Shema. בכל לבך, בכל נפשך, ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה, אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בהם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך וישעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, Vitem kedoshim le'elechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeitiechem me'eretz Mitzrayim, liot lachem le'Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem emet.
Amen.
Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Page 161 at the top. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up, waiting to do your will.
Baruch atah Adonai haborei Shabbat Shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai haborei Shabbat Shalom. Shalom aleinu kol amo Yisrael. Ve'al Yerushalayim ve'al kol amo. Ve'al Yerushalayim shalom. Baruch atah Adonai haborei Shabbat Shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et haShabbat. לעשות את השבת בדורותם. ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת שבת ויהי נפש, שבת שבת ויהי נפש, שבת שבת ויהי נפש, שבת שבת ויהי נפש. אדוני
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו ואהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי מתים אתה רב להושיע. משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מחכה חיים בחסד, מחיי מתים ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומחיה אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך על גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצליח ישועה, ונאמן אתה החיות מתים, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי המתים. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יחללוך הסלע, ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day, and may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Ever-present one, may we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayer. Wherever we live, wherever we seek you, in this land, in Zion restored, in all lands, you are our God, whom alone we serve in reverence. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otecha levadecha b'yira na'avod. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of the soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth, which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulcha na'eh lehodot.
Shalom Rav Israel Amcha Tzikim Leolam. Shalom Rav Israel Amcha Tzikim Leolam. Ki Ata Melech Hador Lechol HaShalom. Ki Ata Melech Hador Lechol HaShalom. Shalom Rav Al Israel Amcha Tzikim Leolam. Shalom Rav Al Israel Amcha Tzikim Leolam. Tov Enecha Levarech Et Amcha Yisrael Bechol Eit U'chosha Bishlomecha. Shalom Rav Al Yisrael Amcha Tzikim Leolam. Shalom Rav Al Yisrael Amcha Tzikim Leolam. Tzikim Leolam. Tzikim Leolam.
We continue silently. I invite you to use the prayers in the book or the prayers of your heart, and when you are finished praying, please take your seats.
Yehiyu leratzon imrei fihi ve'egyol libihi lefanecha Adonai tzori Adonai tzuri ve'goali ve'goali.
We now turn our thoughts to those in need of healing and return. We begin with a Misha Berach for those in captivity or those whose whereabouts are still unknown. For all our family in the house of Israel, Kol Yisrael, fellow Jews who face anguish and captivity, whether on sea or on land. For all those who face such anguish and captivity, Kol Yoshvei Tevel. May the divine have compassion upon them and bring them from distress to relief, from darkness to light, from subjugation to redemption, now, speedily, and soon. Let the verse from Isaiah be fulfilled, and God's ransomed shall return and come with singing to Zion, crowned with joy everlasting. They shall attain joy and gladness while sorrow and sighing flee. And let us say, may all who suffer through the wars and natural disasters that rage around the world find refuah shlema, healing of body and mind of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Amen. Before we move to our closer to home Misha Berach, I wanted to share with you the rabbi, before he had to leave town, gave me this. He got a note from many Catholic friends and neighbors in the community that was given to him in support, thinking of you, our brothers and sisters, and keeping you in our prayers for deliverance and peace. We pray that the path of righteousness prevail. It is incomprehensible that we again find ourselves terrorized by incredibly evil forces residing in our fellow man, and that countless unthinkable atrocities have been committed by them. Our hearts ache for you, for our broken world, for all mankind. We stand by you, with you, for you, always. May God bless and hold us ever so tenderly in God's loving arms. Sincerely, many Catholic friends, neighbors, community members, and they shared with us what we know very well, the priestly blessing. So I know that it's really easy to feel alone and isolated and abandoned in these times and in a lot of times, but we're not. There are people who think about us even when we don't realize. The sun shines even when we can't see it. Our thoughts now turn closer to home, to those among us who are in need of healing, of body, of mind, and of spirit. If you're with us online, you can access the Misha Berach by following the links in the comments or above the player. If you'd like to offer names, please type them in the comments so we can all see them. And for those of you in person, the Misha Berach list is in your announcement sheet that was in your prayer book. And I invite you to share names as I point around our sanctuary. R.H. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your hearts with us. The Misha Berach that we sing is on page 371.
Misha Berach Avoteinu Mekol Averacha Le'imoteinu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen.
May the one who blessed our ancestors bring blessings of strength, compassion, and healing to those of us who struggle with the oppression of addiction, emotional distress, and mental suffering. God, surround them with loving kindness, grace, companionship, and peace.
Bless those in need of healing with refuah shema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Because Judaism is a faith that embraces all of life, we also take a moment to honor our joys. We invite you to share a special simcha, a joy from this past week. It may include birthdays, anniversaries, good news from this past week. If you're online, again, you may type those into the comments. And if you're in person, we invite you to join us up here on the bima, standing in front of the microphones here, a little closer than the X tonight. We had to move the microphones a little bit for our special guests. We ask that each of you state your name and share your simcha. Yeah, that's okay. Mine is always, of course, that we have our learners with us helping lead us. What a joy and a privilege that is.
Okay, I'm Diana Hurst. I made it through radiation this week. On the same day, my new grandbaby got to come home and to see her big sister for the first time.
That's a lot of joy.
Stop.
That's a lot of joy.
G'day everyone, my name is Damien Timms and I'm your new Executive Director. I've just completed my first week here. It has been wonderful. No one stole my lunch money and the staff have been amazing and I'm so looking forward to meeting more of you. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you. Do we have another? Oh, we have another one. Do we have any online? Do you see? That's okay.
Hi, I'm Sierra Debro, and not only are my parents in town, but my dad's birthday is on Sunday, which is a very important day for all of us, for other reasons too.
Thank you so much. I want to share a little thing that I found about the universe. We do not often pause to contemplate the fact that the order of the universe reveals the presence of God. The solar system is perfect in its arrangement. The sun rises and sets at its appointed hour, and in general, nature functions with absolute precision. The discovery of miracle drugs is founded on research, which in turn is based on fixed mathematical principles of an orderly universe. The precision and the power of the laws and forces of the universe daily declare the reality of an intelligent God. The sensitive mind does not see a conflict between science and religion, but rather a cooperative effort in which each discipline helps the other. The scientific study of religion and the religious study of science can help us better our lives. As Louis Pasteur said, a little science estranges men from God. Much science leads them back. Humans seem to be creatures of extremes. Either I accomplished all these things that I did all by myself, or God did everything and I didn't have anything to do with it. I was just standing there at the time. Judaism reminds us over and over again that we're all in this together. So those of you who shared with us, may you be blessed, and everyone, may you be blessed with the discernment to see all who work to lift you up, including yourselves and the divine. So we now gather all these simchas that you've shared as we offer a prayer. Divine source of blessing, we thank you for everything that enriches our lives. We turn to you now with gratitude as we share in the happiness of all who have marked their joyous occasions. Adonai, be with them now and always. May they be blessed with the strength to overcome sickness and sorrow and with much health and happiness now and always. As we honor each of you for the gifts you bring to our sacred community, we join together in this song as we mark this sacred occasion.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו בזמן הזה. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו בזמן הזה. Good evening, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. It's been a while since I have felt adequately put together enough to come before you and speak, and I'm incredibly appreciative for the opportunity to have done so and to have wrestled with matters of Torah in a parsha such as this week's, which is Mishpatim. This week's parsha touches on numerous difficult and sometimes controversial subjects: laws about worshiping other gods, kashrut, business ethics, treatment of animals, as well as the Torah's mitzvot surrounding slavery and the use of slave labor, often distinguishing between the rights of Hebrew slaves or Hebrew citizens from those deemed foreigners. It is this subject of slavery that I wish to delve into this evening. As Jews, our emancipation from Egypt is frequently regarded as one of the most cherished and defining stories. I was once told that one of the biggest takeaways from the Passover Seder is that we should never, ever treat anyone as a slave or lesser than, because we know what it was like to be slaves in Egypt. Nevertheless, a newcomer to our people's story might read today's parsha and be caught off guard by the conundrum that our people, who endured immense cruelty and oppression under Pharaoh, who saw the miracle of divine emancipation, turned around and immediately generated a societal norm that permitted slavery and indentured servitude. Perhaps our ancestors had some degree of desire to benefit from the privileges that other societies saw at the time by having a society based on this hierarchy. But regardless of your personal approach to this parsha, or maybe your interpretation of Torah in general, I think we can agree that within our modern framework, the Torah does not go far enough in rooting out the immoral practices of slavery. I believe it is important to acknowledge this fact, and I would argue that to deny this fact or to work around this uncomfortable nature of these passages is oftentimes used to placate ourselves, to make ourselves feel better, rather than confronting a part of our ancestry that is documented in one of our most prominent collections of writings. Despite whatever intentions were behind these passages, its permissive approach has had an unquestionably lasting legacy on the world that extends beyond our community's eruvs. Regardless of how humanely the Torah dictated that the Israelites were to treat their slaves compared to their neighbors, there's no denying that our own scriptures were appropriated and utilized by white settlers for centuries, including for half of America's history, to justify some of the most horrific brutality, violence, and systemic oppression, most notably in the forms of chattel slavery. The legacy of these actions on the North American continent cannot be understated. Centuries of labor was exploited and centuries of accumulated wages were deprived from those who were deemed the outgroup, from those whose labor was actually generating the profit. Even upon the emancipation of people of color from slavery in 1863, the failures of the Reconstruction era led to continued hardship for people of color throughout the eras of the Jim Crow South and into the present day. In 1865, upon its passage, the 13th Amendment to the United States Constitution read that neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction. This exception to the rule has had severe consequences. Despite the United States only making up about 5% of the global population, the U.S. has more than 20% of the world's prison population. Since 1970, our incarcerated population has increased 500%. 2 million people in jail and prisons today, far outpacing our population growth and crime rates. This prison system costs taxpayers at least $80 billion per year to maintain. During a person's stay in jail, massive amounts of labor exploitation exists. The Freedom Network USA cites the ACLU, stating that incarcerated workers are excluded from workplace protections, including minimum wage laws, the right to unionize, and workplace safety regulations. Workers earn pennies an hour, over half of which is used to pay for their own room and board, court costs, and other prison maintenance fees. 70% of incarcerated people are unable to afford basic necessities with their prison wages. A $3 tube of toothpaste or a $5 stick of deodorant can take days of work to afford. In Kansas, the minimum wage for an incarcerated person is between 6 and 10 cents an hour. In Missouri, it's even lower. All the while, we, on the outside, reap the benefits of this exploited labor. Incarcerated workers generate an estimated $2 billion in goods and $9 billion worth of prison maintenance services to offset the costs of our bloated prison system. All the while, 70% of incarcerated persons report feeling forced to work lest they face additional punishment. Because incarcerated workers' wages are so low, families already struggling from loss of income when a family member is incarcerated must step in, spending $2.9 billion a year on commissary accounts and phone calls. More than half of these families are forced to go into debt to afford these costs. Meanwhile, prisons spend less than 1% of their budgets to pay the wages of incarcerated workers, but 2/3 of their budget to pay prison staff. And the end result is a system that, on average, according to the Department of Justice, results in 68% of state prisoners being rearrested within the first 3 years post-release, and up to 79% within 5 years of being released. All the while, it's also critical to recognize the disproportionate levels of incarceration seen across racial lines. 1 out of every 3 Black boys born today can expect to go to prison in his lifetime, compared to every 17 white boys. According to the Pew Research Center, Black and Hispanic individuals are more likely than white people with similar criminal histories and charges to be arrested and held in jail before trial, receive higher bails despite being more likely to have a lower median income, and receive lengthier and more punitive sanctions, such as incarceration, rather than probation. They are also more likely to stay in jail longer. Black men and women are sent to jail at rates up to 6 times higher than their white and Hispanic peers on average. We are currently in the middle of Black History Month, and we observed the birthday of Martin Luther King Jr. in January. And in many ways, I believe the struggles of the civil rights movement continue to be our struggles today. Chattel slavery was abolished, but it was replaced by new forms of exploitation. The tragedy of our prison industrial complex does not have to be this way. We can improve the conditions for both persons in and out of prison. To accomplish this, we must work together. More than 80% of prison laborers do prison maintenance work, such as janitorial duties, ground maintenance, food preparation, laundry, and even maintaining the very prisons that confine them. Martin Luther King spoke in 1968 to the Memphis city's sanitation workers who were currently on strike. And he said, "You are demanding that this city will respect the dignity of labor. So often we overlook the work and the significance of those who are not in professional jobs, of those who are not in so-called big jobs. But let me say to you tonight that whenever you are engaged in work that serves humanity and is for the building of humanity, it has dignity and it has worth. One day our society must come to see this. One day our society will come to respect the sanitation worker if it is to survive. For the person who picks up our garbage in the final analysis is as significant as the physician. For if he doesn't do his job, diseases are rampant. All labor has dignity." So we here tonight, we have opportunity to do better for future generations, for our kids and our kids' kids. We have the opportunity to do better than our ancestors did those years ago in the Sinai desert, when perhaps we were more devoted to the status quo than to achieving true justice. We must come to recognize that exceptions to emancipation anywhere is a threat to emancipation everywhere. Our ancestors may have gotten this wrong on their path towards the promised land, but we, having the benefit of hindsight, have the opportunity to advocate for these vulnerable persons in our communities now. We have the opportunity to work together to end the scourge of modern slavery, of wage theft, of labor exploitation. During this Shabbat, let us be thankful for the privileges we possess. And when the new week begins, let us work together to improve the conditions, not just of ourselves, not just of our incarcerated citizens, but for each and every generation that is to come. One of many things that we do share with our ancestors, and there are many, is that even then, our people recognized that standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, but that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. May each of us recognize that to reach that promise, we must go together. Ken Yehi Ratzon.
Thank you, Denton. Asher Koach. As my good friend Dr. Kaplan reminds us, and I think that after that powerful message, it's especially important to remember that the rabbis of the 14th century added the Aleinu to our prayers to remind us that no matter how bad things may seem, there will be a better time. I invite you to rise if you're able for the Aleinu, which is on page 586, and then we'll continue on page 591.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'ateit kedula l'rotzeh breshit, shelo asanu kegoyeh haratzot, velo samanu kebishmachot ha'adam, shelo sam chelkeinu kahen, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season and in past years, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. We have several names of the families we are remembering recently laid to rest who are in the Shaloshim period. Sonia Shuklaper, mother and mother-in-law of Joseph and Tatiana Shuklaper. Ethan Niedermeyer, grandson of Carol and Floyd Frankel. Stanley Penner, father and father-in-law of Jeff and Edie Penner and grandfather of Skylar Penner. Alan Bram, Beth Torah member. And Libby J. Savner, mother of Jennifer Savner Levinson and grandmother of Kate Levinson and Molly Levinson. And on the occasion of their yard sites, we remember Jay Barish, David Berman, Harold A. Blum, Leah Bott David Bronfin, Lola Fairchild, Paul Flam, Marion Friedlander, Susan Fry, Rabbi Nathan Gaynor, Percy Ginsburg, Thelma Grossman, Ina Bela Harwood, Richard G. Hendler, Sharon K. Steinzig Hunter, Jerry Lapide, Emmanuel Lowenstein, Marilyn Pittler, Marvin Robbins, Stephen Shames, Marilyn Stowe, Mary Tremblock, Ethel Weiner, Helen Oni Zipper. If you are here to say Kaddish for someone not on the list, or if you have a pronunciation correction, I invite you to share that at this time. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be a blessing. I invite you to rise, if you are able, for the Kaddish Yatom on page 598. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach yiruteh ve'amlich malchuteh, b'chayechon v'mechon uv'chayeh l'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'zman kariv v'imiru amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach le'alam u'lamei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kudashah b'richu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, v'dat miram be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shalama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen.
Oseh shalom, shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, Shalom, Shalom v'rama, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'yavru Yisrael.
I am so grateful to have Denton with me tonight. Thank you for your ruach and for your messages. We really appreciate having you. And to all of my musicians and to our technical team and to all of you, I am going to try and get through these very quickly. And to Damian Timms and to Barb Mendelson for handing out books this evening. Woo! All right. Tomorrow, we are back here for Sichat Shabbat at 9 a.m., followed by Shabbat morning worship at 10:30 in our sanctuary. The topic this week is the book of Daniel, a sacred forgery with Peter Pizer.
Sunday is the first of a new series of classes facilitated by Elaine Tobias, examining anti-Semitic conspiracy theories with Andrew Pessin. Join Elaine in the library at 10:30 to view and discuss the webinar.
Our next rabbi candidate visit is February 16th through 18th. As you can see, we have a packed weekend. Please come to all of the events and RSVP so we have enough food. These topics that he's talking on are pretty impressive. If you want to see them in writing, go on the website or look at the flyers out because we need to get out of here. Next Sunday is also our Good Faith Network team meeting after our Q&A breakfast with the rabbi. We invite you to stick around and learn more about what the Good Faith Network has accomplished and what you can do to help.
And now some opportunities to give back. You can still plant a tree in Israel. If we are one of the top 3 donation congregations, we will win program funding for the Weiner Religious School.
And our soup drive ends Sunday because it's the Super Bowl soup drive. Help us reach the sign and tackle food insecurity in Kansas City.
For her bat mitzvah project, Hazel Metcalf is collecting pet supplies for KC Pet Project. In a brilliant move, she has made this a competition between Sunday School and TAG. The winning group will receive a crumble cookie party.
There is so much going on. We encourage you to participate in your congregation, Beth Torah, community activities. Now, before we sing our closing song, I have an important information for what happens after our song. If you are attending the Weiner Religious School Shabbat family dinner with the learners and their families, you'll go immediately into the triangle and you're going to have your kiddush there before dinner as a group, and then the rest of us will have our kiddush straight out in the ulam like normal. Now, it is my pleasure to invite our learners up one more time to lead us in our closing song. You all get to stand. You know what we're going to do. I mean, what else are we going to do on a religious school night? So please stand. We invite you to sing with us. And if you know the actions, do them. And if you don't, it won't take long. All right, are we ready? It is not tree of life to those who will fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life to those who will fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. You know where to go. Take care of yourselves out there.